The only thing I would say different to women is that I know that when I started in this trade, I felt very much like I needed to assimilate with the men, be more like the men, so the men would accept me, so I wouldn't stick out, right? Like
Hmm. Hmm.
assimilate, work your way in. I say no. I say that women offer different
Strengths.
strengths, absolutely, and we should celebrate those. And if you do, you'll get farther in your career faster. I think once I started owning it and tooting my horn proudly and using the strengths of what I do for the better of our company, I think it worked well.
I'll get started here.
Okay.
We're lucky to have Tara from. She's a general man and co-owner, right?
Yeah.
General manager is the job title,
Yes.
and co-owner is also part of what you do there. Of Mr. Furnace and the new homes division of Furnace Men,
Yes.
as we discussed earlier. Tara, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in this industry pretty much my whole life. I feel like it. I joke that I used to, when I was 10 years old, work with the home shows, handing out brochures and bags to people from the Winnipeg supply booth of all places. That's where my dad was. I am in my 50s now, and I'm good with that. I love being over 50, to be honest.
That's
And
cool.
I have three boys, two are grown and one's still at home. And I love to be active, and I love sports, and I love
Yeah, because you're involved coaching too, right?
yeah, I love to coach. I love kids. Kids are great. They're honest and blunt, and then they move on.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
we should all be more like that.
Yes.
So,
Careful what you ask a kid, because they'll
oh
they'll tell
yeah.
you.
Oh, straight up. Yep, they're brutally honest. So you need to be have, you need to be able to take it.
Take a punch or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you started handing out pamphlets. You said at Winnipeg Supply.
Yeah.
How long ago was it? Like, is there any other industry you've been in? Like, what was?
Yeah, like when I started working, I started like in the like most teenagers in the restaurant business, right? So I worked at Salisbury House, and then I worked at a place called Peppers, and I was the bar manager there at the age of 19. I
Oh
was
wow.
already, we joke that I was bossy since I was born. So I was meant for management,
What's the
They,
birth order?
I'm the middle child,
Oh,
actually.
okay,
Jeff, my
okay.
brother, who's my business partner, is actually the oldest
Oh, interesting.
in years, but
Yeah.
we joke that I'm the oldest in attitude. Anyways, I always felt like I was the oldest. So yeah, I did that for a few years, but then I quickly joined into HVAC when I started working for my dad at Mr. Furnace, and I was only 20 years old.
Oh
I was
wow. And
20.
what was your first role there?
I worked in the accounting department, so
Okay,
accounts payables, accounts receivables, and
on
stuff like
on the
that.
ledger side of things.
Yeah, on the ledger side. Yeah.
And so you said you've grown up, like in your story on your website there, it said you've grown up in the HVAC industry. When did you know it was like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be? Was that pretty quick? Did it take some time?
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna say it did take some time. Probably when I knew for sure was when my dad sold his companies and the merger happened and we moved over, and I got fully enveloped in other roles. I left just accounting and I went into HR, and I did that for a while, and then I went into operations, and I loved it. I loved dealing with the people. I loved helping with the problems. I loved that a lot more than just the accounting. And that's when I knew that it's not it's the HVAC that I like. I like dealing with the people. I like solving the problems.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And it's not just the HVAC, it's not just the pressure, the balancing, it's the people part of it that you really found.
It's the people part. I can't actually fix a furnace,
Yeah. But
not with tools. Now, if you call me, I'm good at diagnosing on the phone because years of experience, right? You hear noises and you make your guesses. So, but I don't actually fix furnaces. I fix people.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
I don't even fix people. They're not broke. I reassure people. I give them comfort.
Hmm.
I give them security, and they believe that we're going to take care of them. And then they can sleep better at night.
Hmm. And then you empower your team to do that work and find their
Correct.
strength and find their process.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit more about the process. We talked before we started getting on the mic. We talked a little bit about the process. Can you give a brief history of the 70 plus years of experience in the management group in Furnaceman? Sorry, Mr. Furnace.
That's fine. It's like, yeah, Furnace Men New Homes is a huge portion of the Mr. Furnace group, like the two together. In our management team, so myself, like I said, I've been in it since I was 20 and I'm 53, so there's my years of experience. My dad before me, because he started at Winnipeg Supply, he again started when he was 13 years old, egging limestone, and then worked his way up to management. But he managed the whole of Winnipeg Supply, so more than just heating, right? But
Gotcha.
then when he bought in the 90s, he bought Great West Heating and then Midwest Heating. Since 1990, our family's been fully enveloped in that HVAC area. And my
Gotcha.
brother Jeff, who also wasn't working for the company at the time, he was fully immersed in the plumbing side. He started at EMCO. He did 20 years on
Wow.
the EMCO desk before he ever actually got into plumbing as, as actually the installing side of the new homes.
Right.
He could tell you the SKUs still from those products. He's been
Yeah.
doing it so long. So Jeff's doing the plumbing, and like I say, he's got 20 years of plumbing experience before he came over, and he's now been in his job, or maybe not in his position, but been with the company since about 2005.
Okay.
So he's been there a long time.
And you have an uncle as well, right?
So Brian, my dad's brother, he was my partner because he worked with us at the larger company when we were all together. Great West Heating, he worked for us.
Gotcha.
And then, so he and I branched out to start that Mr. Furnace on our own. So he was the guy on the side of the truck and he did sales. So again, true to form, the way I talk, I always joke, Leo never really sold a furnace in his life. Leo just sold Leo.
Mm.
And people loved Leo and trusted Leo and believed what Leo said. Because it was true, like and then we had the stuff.
Y-
You still have to have the stuff to back it up.
Yes.
We still have to perform. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like a sales pitch, but you'd say, well, what furnace did Leo sell you? I don't know.
Right.
It was a
Right.
good one.
I don't
A
know if it
good
was
one.
Lennox or or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was good.
Yeah.
And it works, and I'm happy.
It fixed my problem. I have a warm house. Yeah.
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 So Leo, and then when he retired, that's sort of after he retired and left, that's when I kind of merged in with my dad's company back with the Furnaceman New Homes. Mr. Furnace merged with Furnaceman New Homes.
Okay.
It became one.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So that's, I mean, obviously that's a real multi-generational ecosystem you got going on there. What do you find is like the best parts or the worst parts about working with family? You've worked with dad, with uncle, with brother,
And nephew
okay,
and
nephew.
son.
I was gonna say, I think I read somewhere that son was in the business
Yeah.
too.
So it takes a long time to develop the proper rules for working with family, I think. But I think it's important that you do have a structure of rules. Number one, when you're in business, like my brother and I, with my parents before, when we were all partners, we had a very complex, very detailed business agreement because then there's no fighting
Right.
over it.
Right.
You just go to the
papered it.
rule. Here's what it says we do, and that's what you do. So not that we ever actually went to it, but if you ever had to, it was there. But it just sets the pace too, right? Work is work and family is family. And you can fight with one and not have it carry over. So we have a family
Right.
cottage and we all go there, right? My
Oh, that's
parents,
cool.
my brother, my nieces or my nephews and all of their families and multi-generational. And my mom made it a rule years ago that no more work talk at the lake.
Okay.
You have the odd little conversation here or there.
As long as mom doesn't hear you.
Yeah. But my dad and I would sit up at night, all night, sitting around the table, have a couple of drinks and reinvent the whole HVAC world, right? And she was like, that's it. There's enough.
She's done, yeah.
We're done. We're not doing this anymore. So I think that's an important rule, is that when you're celebrating family stuff, you don't talk about work. And when you're at work, you try to leave the family stuff out of it. At least, you talk about how's your niece doing today, but
Yeah, how was the hockey game?
yeah, but you try to leave the big conversations out of the workplace because it's hard
Yeah.
for the rest of your workers too,
Right.
right?
Right.
You don't realize that always how hard it is for them when everybody else is related and there's a couple that aren't.
Right. Right. They're kind of on the outside
Yeah.
and yeah. And you're dealing with things the way your family deals with things, but maybe their family doesn't deal with things that way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, we here at Dueck, we're family owned as well, so a lot of that resonates.
Yeah.
That it's it's a very very good thing when you handle it well.
Yeah.
And it's very rewarding.
I don't think I am as good at it being the boss of my son and nephew as my dad was at being the boss.
Oh, tell me more. What did he do?
He had more patience to let me play out whatever. I can look back now and go, geez, I was a bit much. But, like I'd have these great ideas and he would just let me play them out, even though that he knew they were not going to work or whatever. He let me go through it and play it. Whereas I'm trying to do that now, but I catch myself because I'd be like, that's not a good
That's a
idea.
really stupid idea.
Right. And
Yeah.
then I go, oh, wait, don't do that because then they're not going to come up with more ideas, right? But my dad was always really good about, oh, okay, well, let's follow this through. How does it play out? And
Right.
then sometimes I fall on my face, and he'd go, "Well, good try."
Thanks for trying. Yeah, try it again.
Yeah,
Right. Like
yeah,
we'll do this right again.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was better that way of letting those things happen, which I'm trying to get to, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Well, and it's, I mean, it is tough. I mean, my kids are behind your kids in years,
Hmm.
but it's tough when you see them doing something and you're like, I know how this
Yeah,
ends. It's tough to not just help them avoid that little crisis. But in the end, they don't learn a lot of problem solving, resilience,
yeah.
a lot of the more important lessons. Yeah.
I mean, all of my
Hmm.
important lessons were learned by falling down first, usually.
Yeah, when you talk about one of your taglines is something to the effect. I mean, there's a tagline here in the city where it's "Do it once, do it right,"
Hmm.
and I think your tagline differs a little bit. Do you want to
Yeah,
elaborate a little
we
bit?
do it right or we make it right. So we're going to put every effort into doing it right the first time.
Yeah,
Obviously, we want to exceed and we want to be the number one and we want it to work well for you,
yeah,
but it doesn't always happen. We make mistakes, we don't finish jobs properly for whatever reason, or we create another problem, and if we do, we're going to fix it. So we can't always be perfect, but if we drop the ball, we're going to own our mistakes. We're going to make sure we communicate that to the homeowners, and then we're going to fix it. And we're going to
mm,
keep coming back until it's done right. That means you're satisfied as the homeowner or the builder or whoever it is that we're trying to appease at that point, and that the job is also done right. So I always feel that I have two bosses out there. I have the customer I'm working for, whether that be the builder or the homeowner, and then I have the code,
hmm.
because we work in a dangerous situation, or
Yes,
could be
yes,
potentially
yes,
dangerous, right? We work with gas, high levels of electricity, refrigerants. So safety is also a concern. And we're also in a skilled trade that not everybody understands what's best. So just because you want a certain thing, that doesn't mean I should give it to you.
right, right. And I might tell you how I want things, but really, what you need me to tell you is what's the end goal? What's the after? What do you
Right,
want to feel in your
right.
house? Do you want to feel even heat? Well, then you might need a bulkhead
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Or even with homeowners who are like, well, my old house, the air conditioner never worked properly. So this house, I want a bigger one. What size? You want to give
Yeah.
me 2.5? I want 3.5. Bigger is
Yeah.
better. Well, bigger is not better.
Yeah.
I know that, and I'm the expert. So people go, well, if they want it, give them what they want. No, no, that's not doing the right thing.
Right. Because they don't actually want what they want is a cool
They
house.
want a cool house.
They don't want a
They
bigger air conditioner.
they're not explaining it properly.
Right.
You
Right.
want a cooler house? I will get you a cooler house.
And we're actually going to go with a smaller one
Yeah, and
than
it'll
you
run
want.
more often,
Yeah.
and therefore you will feel the coolness better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. On that note, we talked a little bit about what customers get wrong. What do you think other, and I'm not trying to pick on any particular builder or company, but what are some of the mistakes you're seeing? Because you have a service side too. What are
Hmm.
some of the mistakes you're seeing builders make or new home buyers make or whatever? What are some of the mistakes in the industry that you're seeing?
So for us, the biggest problem we run into is placement.
Okay.
So nobody wants to talk about what we do. We don't have the sexy granite countertops. We're not fancy lights, right?
Right.
So shove us in a corner and take as little space as possible, because they
Yeah.
want a big, beautiful rec room, or they want an extra bedroom, or they're going to put a granny suite, and they shove us back in the corner and then complain that they can't get proper airflow.
Hmm.
Or they have an open floor, main floor design with 4 bedrooms upstairs. How do I get the heat out there?
Yeah. It's not wireless yet.
Right, there's no wireless heat runs, right? It's a big, ugly piece of metal, and they need a wall
Right.
for it to go through. So, well, we made the wall skinnier, just make the heat run skinnier. Okay, but there's side effects to that. And do you want those side
Is that
effects?
worth the
Is it
trade-off?
worth the trade-off?
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest fight we have on the building side is, I mean, ideally, I'd love my furnace in the middle of the basement with,
Right.
I mean, and I know that
Right.
can't
Right.
happen. But there are situations where we're like, "Yeah, you can't put us under the stairs, guys. Like, how am I supposed to get the
Yeah.
ductwork around, up and over and around the stairs? Like, how do you do that?
Right.
There's little limitations we have to hit.
Yes.
And then the other one is when they decide where they want to place the furnace, is we have to be careful with the size of the lots and the rules around
Oh,
those
lot lines
lot
and
lines.
okay.
And on some of these houses that like housing's getting tighter, houses are getting smaller, lots are getting tighter, trying to get all the holes out of the side of the house and have them the right distances apart
Right.
to meet
Right.
code
Yeah.
can be problematic for us,
Yeah. That makes
right?
sense.
You've got a furnace and two for the HRV, a dryer, a range,
Right. And yeah,
a
you don't
gas
want them
meter.
all recycling the air there amongst themselves.
Right. And there's actual codes like so many feet they
R-
have to stay apart,
Right. Right. For
right?
good reason.
For good reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I know. Talking about placement, I know Steve and I have went back and forth on a few of those. I've been guilty of a few of those
Sure.
where we've created another furnace room, or we've down the road, whatever it is, we've
Yeah.
toyed with solutions. What about indoor air quality? Is that something that customers ask a lot about, or they don't really think, they just want warm or cold?
So there are like if customers ask about what their needs are. So homeowner calls and says, "My son was diagnosed. He's got severe allergies now. What can I do to make my house better for those
Gotcha.
allergies?" But if they don't have a situation, then they don't normally ask about it. Maybe it's not severe allergies, but that's for example. Um, the biggest problem is they just forget that their air needs any sort of conditioning at all,
Mm,
right? Like, and they think it's going to be the reaction should be immediate, right? Like you get in your car and you turn on the heat, and within 30 seconds your whole car's warm.
right.
Maybe not today,
Yeah. Yeah.
but in your house it doesn't react the same way. So indoor air quality, the biggest problem, change your filter.
Yeah. Okay.
Number one thing, you call me with any problem, I'm gonna say, have you changed your filter lately? So don't call before you've changed it because it impacts so many portions of it. People, I don't think realize, like, do you drink filtered water?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Always,
Not always. No.
but you prefer it. You pay
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Well, I have it in my fridge through the Brita. Yeah. So I
You
pay for
pay.
it.
You
Yeah.
pay for that Brita filter,
Yeah.
and yet people will have filters in their furnace that are 4 years old.
Yeah.
You drink 2 to 3 liters of water a day. You inhale 14,000 liters of air a day,
Wow.
but you want that to stay
Wow.
unfiltered while your water is filtered.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Priority. So, and that's what people don't think about. When you're sitting in your basement and your filter is a year old or more and your carpet hasn't been changed in 15 years
Yeah.
and you got these VOCs and
Yeah.
these things can all create problems for you. And then you replace your windows to make your house a little more airtight,
Yeah.
or
Right.
you have a new home and you unplug your HRV because you think
I
it's
don't want
just
to
a
pay to
waste
heat
of
that.
money.
Yeah. Yeah. My old house didn't have an HRV.
Yeah, your old house had lots of leaks.
Right. 3 air changes an hour,
3 air
naturally.
changes an
Yeah.
hour, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was fine, right?
Right.
So, but filters, again, filtering is the number one problem with indoor air quality. And
Huh.
then covering. When people move into houses, they
Okay.
cover the returns in their bedrooms with
Right.
a dresser or a bed, or
Right.
they don't
Right.
cover the
They don't cover
heat
the supply, but they cover the return.
and they don't realize that
So what
one
happens?
needs the other. Well, you can't put more air into a space that's already full. Like blow up a
Mm,
balloon, it only can get so big, right? You need the air to come out, so you need this to circulate. So even if the air is pushing in, you'll never be it won't be comfortable. The room will not be comfortable. It'll feel cold because it's having trouble circulating, actually
actually
circulating.
moving air, getting
Actually,
the stale air out of there. Oh, okay.
correct.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, one more question here, and then we're going to talk a little bit about,
Yeah.
because you've been on some boards and stuff, and I want to hear
Mm,
about that a little bit. What do you and this is just a fun question of mine, one of my favorite
mm.
questions. What do you think is changing fastest in HVAC? Is it the regulation? Is it the technology? In many ways, there's more information. We were talking about that too. There's more information available these days. So, do you find that customers are better educated, or that they're holding worse opinions?
We have a term we like to call dangerously educated,
Yeah.
where they're
Yes.
educated just enough to ask some questions, but not always the right questions. And then they don't fully understand the answers they're given.
Mm,
So, heat pumps are a great example of where technology came first, and then customer awareness seemed to come second, and then regulation tried to catch up along the way here in the background. But the customers are asking for a heat pump. I want to replace my furnace with a heat pump. It's not it, yes, but no.
yeah.
Like you're replacing your air conditioner, we're putting the heat pump in. It can also heat, which would take pressure off your furnace, but we're not removing the furnace. Or if we are, we're putting other something else supplemental in, right?
Right.
A heat pump's great. You guys use them
Right.
and they're
Yes.
awesome. But it's not as simple as an existing home ripping out a furnace and an air conditioner, putting in a heat pump, and then going, you're good.
It's not the be all end all,
Yeah,
right? What's
and
the
there's not just one heat pump
right?
that does it all. You need a
Right.
cold climate heat pump if you wanted to use it all winter.
Yeah.
A regular heat pump's just going to cover those shoulder months.
Right. And you at -5 or -10, you'll switch it over.
Correct. And do you realize that if you do have a cold climate heat pump and you do run it all winter, it will actually cost you more than your gas furnace did.
Right.
Well, no, they said it. No, well,
Yeah.
but at mine,
But it's more efficient.
it is more efficient.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah,
It is.
yeah, yeah.
So that's where it's
Yeah.
dangerous, like dangerously,
Yeah.
they have some information, but not all of it. They're given the highlights that sound good on a poster board,
Right.
but the small print isn't being read.
Right. Right.
So that's where the customer is getting ahead. The problem too is that the innovation and the tech isn't always here. So again, with heat pumps or air conditioning, with refrigerants.
Yeah.
Refrigerants, well, that's the California thing. California says we need to get better, right? We all
Okay.
know it starts in California. So once the United States bought on, Canada is such a small portion of the market that most of our equipment's coming from either the States, or maybe it's even coming from Mexico, maybe it's coming from overseas, but not a lot is built here in Canada. So once the regulation changes there, it's hard for us to not follow suit
Gotcha.
because the products might not be available for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, which is kind of what happened with the A2Ls.
Well, and that's what I was. So maybe give us, because my neighbor's also an HVAC. He's been complaining too about new refrigerants and all that stuff. Give us like the layman's 2-minute. What's happening with refrigerants, and how does that affect current air conditioner owners and
Right.
people?
So layman's point is that they've started with a refrigerant, like it was R22. That's what you and I had in air conditioners when we were kids, our parents had put in, right?
Okay.
And then they moved to what's called R410A. So what they're doing is they're trying to make the refrigerant more environmentally friendly. So the first attack was on ozone depleting and those types of things. And now we're trying to get rid of the HFCs, right? So as this refrigerant changes, it's trying to be more environmentally friendly, not just ozone, HFCs, and other pollutants and toxins that are in the refrigerant.
So when it inevitably leaks, not that we're planning on it to leak,
Right.
not that it should leak, but it will,
Right.
that it's less dangerous.
That it's less dangerous to the environment around. Also less dangerous to the people in the homes, right? If it leaks into the house. But the other concern with the A2Ls is the A2Ls are a little more explosive, for lack of a better word. So there's other things that have been impacted by this. And eventually we're moving more like it's towards propane, almost like that sort of
Oh, interesting.
direction.
And are they more efficient at conducting that heat energy, moving it around, or that's not a primary concern in these?
That's not the primary concern. The primary concern is the environmental impact
Okay.
they have. So when down in California, they decided A2L, so they decided in the States you couldn't make a unit that had the refrigerants, the old refrigerants anymore. But not all manufacturers are in the United States. So those that are in Mexico went, I think we'll still make it for a
pretty
while.
happy. Yeah.
We'll do both. So now we have the old refrigerants and we have the new refrigerant. But when they made the new one, there was always we only have one at a time.
Okay.
This time they made two.
Okay.
And everybody's to split. Half the companies went
shoot.
with one and half the companies went with two. So now your neighbor who's upset and my guys, we carry 4 tanks of refrigerant
my
around
word.
because we have to have the old stuff
Yeah.
and the really old stuff and then the 2 new stuff.
Right.
So that's a lot. And now when you're working on equipment, the tools that you have, like you need special tools. The tools can't be mixed for the refrigerants.
Can't
So
cross-contaminate.
No, so you need to have 3
4
sets,
sets. Oh,
3
my
sets of
word.
tools, and so it gets confusing. So
Yeah.
and you got to be careful because if you get somebody come out to work on your unit and maybe they're not licensed and maybe just
Yeah.
the random taillight plumbing and heating company, if they put the wrong refrigerant in your unit because they're unsure, well, it's
Yeah. So
it's like putting diesel in a gas engine vehicle.
it doesn't work.
It
It
doesn't
clogs
work.
everything up, and now you
It's
get a
gone.
new air conditioner.
Now you get a new air conditioner.
Yeah. And then you call the right people to do it the
Yeah.
right way. Yeah. Yeah.
So
that sounds like a massive headache.
and then explaining to you, the homeowner, you say, well, Tara, tell me, which one do I want?
Right.
Now I've got 18 different options of air conditioners because what level of efficiency do you want? What
Right.
kind of refrigerant do you want? Like, and there's all these things to pile on. It gets so confusing for the end home user.
Yeah.
I just want cool air.
Right. Right. I want to set my house at 19 degrees overnight, 20 during the day, 21 during the
Yeah,
day, whatever.
and just
Yeah. Set and forget.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want that fancy thermostat that's Wi-Fi that I
r-
can play with on my phone.
Right. I want the Nest one that doesn't actually speak to my furnace. Yes.
Because that's the one that's advertised. So there's one where, consumer
Education.
education was missed, but it
Right.
looks the same as what I have. It actually looks better. The Nest is a cool looking
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's
There's
cool.
not a knock on. Don't sue me, Google.
Yeah.
There's not a knock on Nest.
No.
Um,
But I like thermostats that are made by HVAC
right.
companies
Right.
because they know how to communicate better with our HVAC equipment.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't always have to be proprietary per se to the furnace.
Right, right. Mitsubishi could step up their game there with their thermostat for just their unit, and it's very hard to make anything else work with it. It's doable.
Yeah.
Um,
And a lot of them do have that now.
okay,
But there are some great ones that are, HVAC thermostat brands that have been around for a long time
right.
and work in conjunction with other HVAC companies that are building these parts. Right?
Gotcha. Goodman or Lennox or what or
Right.
whoever.
So you got your White Rogers and your Honeywells that have been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, we're gonna move on now to a little bit to your board work and HRAI. Explain that to the people who don't know, and then talk a little bit about what HRAI went through during your time leading them, and what kind of lessons you took from that.
So HRAI. See, I've been out for a year and I can't even say it. It's one of the first things when you're trying to do their speeches is learning just to say that slowly enough to
Say
get
4
it out.
letters. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Heating, Refrigeration, Air Conditioning Institute of Canada.
Ah, but there's no C in it. I didn't miss my notes up.
No.
Okay.
No. Air conditioning, they just the A for air conditioning.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a national group and they have branches in each of the provinces.
Okay.
So my dad before me was the chair of the branch here in Manitoba, the Manitoba branch, for a long time. So I got involved with them. And I sat on that board. I'm still on that board. I've been on that board for probably 20 years now.
Wow.
I was the chair of that board for over 10 years.
Wow.
And I only got out of being the chair because I was the chair of the contractors board on a national level, and I'm like, I can't.
I can't do
I
both.
can't do it all.
Yeah.
So, and then the year after I was chair of the contractors board on the national level, I was chair of the whole of HRI Canada.
Wow.
So, and I'm pretty proud of it because I'm only the second female ever to be chair.
Oh, cool.
So,
I mean, not cool, but
I
it's cool that
appreciate.
it's
I
you.
know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
And it is not. It is cool to be those things, but at the same time, yeah, I wish I could say I was the 20th.
Right.
Because that means there was 19 others.
Yeah.
Because there's at least 19 other women in our industry who could do it.
Who could knock it out of the park.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, but it was a great experience. The local stuff is great because you need to give back. This isn't an industry that's provided me with a living for my entire life. It's provided my family with a great, great life.
Right.
So I need to give back to it. And I was taught that by my dad and I agree with it fully. But on a national level, it's a different experience a little bit. Like you get to see the way other provinces are being run and how they do things differently or the same and how it impacts. And you get to meet a lot of different people. And it was a great experience and one I would never give back. Board experience, I truly believe people who are like join these types of organizations, if you're going to join, get involved because you get out of it what you put into it.
Yes.
And I can't say that any simpler. If someone comes back and goes, well, I went to those meetings, we've been a part of HRI for 10 years, I've never gotten anything out of it. Well, you haven't put anything in, have you?
Right, right.
That's just the only
When
answer.
have you served on any kind of volunteer position?
And the minute, I don't know a single person who has, who then turns around and says, oh, it was bunk, I didn't enjoy that. It was no good. I didn't get anything out of it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So the more you put in, the more you will get out.
Yeah.
So people are like, thank you so much for your service. I could just as equally say, well, I'm really lucky and thankful that I got to do it because look at the benefits I got to take away from it.
Yeah. Well, it's like coaching, right? Like parents thank you for coaching your kids, and I feel like I have to thank them for letting me coach their kids. Like it's like you said, kids are awesome.
Kids are my reset because dealing with adults all day
Yeah.
some days, whether
Yeah.
it's the people that work for you or the people you work for,
Yeah.
can get frustrating at times.
You wish they were as mature as kids.
And you go home and you get on the hockey ice and some kid looks at you and goes,
Yeah.
Why do you have a hair on your chin, Tara? Go skate a lap.
Yeah, yeah. Guess what? We're doing man makers. Yeah, yeah.
But they make you laugh.
Yeah.
And they're just honest
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think we need to do more of that as adults.
right. Right.
Yeah.
Just unfilter ourselves a bit.
Yeah.
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 So you led the HRAI through COVID and through the refrigeration stuff. What prepared you for that, or what has that prepared you for? Either way.
I think the A2L refrigerant stuff, I was lucky enough that I got to be prepared. So because when I was on the board, I got to go down and participate in some other organizations' activities like ACA, which is the American air conditioning version of us. And they were farther ahead into the A2Ls than we were at the time.
Okay.
And so I got to take a lot away from them because we were there in their hometowns, and like we were in Florida,
Yeah.
and
They know air
they
conditioning.
know air conditioning. So I got to get a head start. Also, Canada was behind the US in this action, right? So
Yeah.
I really got to bring a lot of information back for HRAI,
Neat.
but it benefited me and my business personally as well.
Yeah.
Because then I got to bring it to my builders and customers and say,
Hey,
this is coming. Just want to give you a heads up. I took it to the home builders and said, let me present this.
Right.
Say, here's what we can see.
Right.
In the future.
Right. Here's what's coming up the pipeline.
Yeah. So I think that was beneficial for me. I think that also through COVID, we learned to develop other means of communicating, which was really unfortunate at the time, but has been a great resolve. So sitting on these boards, every time we had to have a big meeting, I had to get on a plane and fly to Toronto.
Yeah.
Oof. And oof is right. Now, Toronto, first time is great. Second time's fun. By the third time, you're already done. You're like, I don't want to come here just for 2 days.
Yeah.
For 1 4-hour meeting.
Yeah.
Now we do those all virtually.
Yeah.
And you can have an emergency meeting in a matter of minutes if you need to.
Right.
So
That's
I used that a lot through COVID. We did. And so that was beneficial. You lose out on some personal touches. So I'm glad we're back to we do 2 meetings a year live, and then the rest are virtual.
That's cool.
So you get a mix of both, and that's great.
Typically, communication, the higher the bandwidth of communication, the better it works, right? Like email's better than text, phone calls better than email, face to face beats it all, or yeah. So that's cool. That's cool to find a hybrid model. Jump ahead to this one here. What you talked about being the second woman to chair the board there. What's your message to women entering the trades today, or HVAC specifically? Or is it the same as your message to any other young person entering the trades?
The only thing I would say different to women is that I know that when I started in this trade, I felt very much like I needed to assimilate with the men, be more like the men, so the men would accept me, so I wouldn't stick out, right? Like assimilate, work your way in. I say no. I say that women offer different strengths, absolutely, and we should celebrate those. And if you do, you'll get farther in your career faster. I think once I started owning it and tooting my horn proudly and using the strengths of what I do for the better of our company, I think it worked well.
Yeah.
So guys are like, oh my gosh, guys don't care about that. Maybe guys don't, but companies do. So I'm going to do it this way.
Right.
Because that's what I felt,
right.
Whatever that topic may be.
And that makes it a stronger company, a stronger industry, a stronger group of people. The industry needs women in it, needs it more.
Yeah. Like you said, we offer different strengths, and every person offers different strengths, but not all men, not all women, of course, but as a whole, there are certain things that women seem to excel at and certain things men seem to more excel at. So instead of trying to make myself fit into the square box that was there, with my round peg or whatever, I think you should be your own person.
Yeah.
And take the attributes that you have and use them to make you better at whatever side of the industry you want to be on. There's lots of opportunities in this industry right now.
Yeah.
Like blue collar workers of any type are like, we're dying.
Yes, we need, well, the average age is what, 55 or something? Like it's,
55-year-old tin bashers are rough. Like
yeah,
they've
yeah,
it's been a rough go, right? That's a
yeah,
lot of years doing that. So yeah, we need to hire
yeah.
some young people who want to grow in this industry and get excited about it again.
And it's a great industry. You
It
get to
is.
build stuff. At the end of the day, you get to see what you did with your hands. It's rewarding.
Oh yeah.
It's it's very financially rewarding. Like
Yep.
you come out of school with no debt. You've been on EI while in school. Like it's a great situation.
And we're always going to need a house, and the house is always going to need heat, and
Yeah.
right? Like we're not in an industry that's going to fade away.
No, no. It's going to be hard to make robots efficient enough to go to a house call for half an hour to find out, oh, it's just this cover I didn't put back on.
Right.
And yeah,
Right.
yeah. No, it's we're always going to need trades. So your team is known for exceptional customer service. As the team has grown, how do you maintain that across the different employees, across the generations of leadership? How do you maintain that focus on if we don't do it right the first time, we'll make it right?
I think it's a constant job that you have to stay on top of. You can't ever give up. You have to constantly be talking to your staff about it, and you have to preach. You have to walk what you preach, right?
Yeah,
So I have to support my staff constantly. So that means if whether that's backing them up, whether they did something wrong and backing them up and getting them back in there with someone who's more senior to teach them, that's costly for me. I
right,
had to send two guys back to a house where I could have only sent one guy, wasted 2 more hours on a day like today.
right. When
That's
you
that's
haven't,
4 calls made potentially that I could have made money on,
yeah,
and I didn't.
yeah,
Because if we don't do it right, we make it right. And even though there was other things I could have
mm,
done that were more profitable today, this is the line that we take. So we have to stay there. Now the guy that was the underling, he learned a great lesson. He also learned that he's not going to get crapped on by us for making a mistake,
right,
which means he won't be scared to try things again in the future,
yeah.
which is good because he's going to keep learning if he keeps trying. But if we cut off his wings now,
Hmm.
how does he ever fly?
Right. If that becomes a, oh, you idiot, why did you like? Yeah, it was one thing, right? Then
Right.
no, okay, I'm done.
Right. So even for me, like as we grow and we get bigger, we hire new guys and they're young. Like I like to make sure I go out on a job site and see their work. Or if I get a call from a customer saying, "Hey, you had this kid Ben in here today. God, was he fantastic." I'm going to personally call Ben and tell him
That's
he was
cool.
fantastic. I'm not going to just tell Ben. I'm going to tell Ben's direct boss, of course, too, and tell Joel, but I'm going to
Yeah,
tell him because it would mean it something to me if I heard it directly.
yeah,
Like if you have something nice to say to me, I'd rather hear it from you than from somebody else.
right.
So then I try to
Te-
live that out.
Telephone. Hey, tell this
Yeah,
guy he did well. Click.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, next time, tell me when Ben's in the office next because I want to come up and
Right.
talk
I'm
to
gonna
him.
bring him a muffin or
Yeah,
whatever. I'll bring him a. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, that's cool. Okay, one more. You talked about in the article I read about selling Great West.
Mm.
You talked about how you wanted a company that had a head office here in Winnipeg, not far. And again, I'm not trying to bash any companies on this, but what do you think the Winnipeg market? How does being deeply local change the way you do business, and what does it mean to you to be deeply local?
I think for one, it's accountability.
Right, small town, word
Small
gets
town,
around.
right? And I'm here. Like you can call me direct. You can come walk into my office and talk to me, the owner, and say your company did this,
Right,
and I will answer you. I
right.
will I will be there. It also means I'm right here with you in the trenches, right? Like when it's minus, what would it get down to? Minus 49 the other
Oh
night?
yeah, I was
It
playing
was
blue
minus
ball.
49 in my house too.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not in Florida answering phones going, oh, we'll get someone there in 3 days. No, we're here too. So, and I think when people are going through any struggle in their life, one of the things they want to know the person that's
Feeling.
helping them has experienced it, that they understand. So of
Yeah,
course I understand. I also live in Winnipeg. And anything I support, all of our staff are local, so all of the money we do make goes right back into here, goes right back into Winnipeg, goes back into my kids' sports, into my own
right,
house, into this province. And I
right.
think those things are important. And I think people are starting to think those things are important.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's important. And I don't want somebody in another province or another country
yeah. Yes.
taking the money that I paid to a company to do work, and who knows what they're doing with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Let's keep it here.
You worked hard. Your people who work for you worked
Yeah,
hard. Like, yeah, let's keep that here in Manitoba.
yeah.
We have a great province and a great city, so
Hmm.
it's cool to hear when people are proud of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do a couple just fun kind of quick hit questions, and then I'll close off by letting you give a little bit of a plug for where to find you or anything else that I've left missing, anything you want to cover. So we'll go through some rapid fire ones, and then we'll close it off. What, in your opinion, is the most underrated HVAC component or upgrade in a new home? I'll give a little preamble to this. I had lunch with Steve yesterday, and he said you were frantically preparing for this thing because you're a preparer.
I am a
And
preparer.
so I was proud of myself because I left 12 questions that you have not seen before. So these are completely off the cuff,
Hmm.
unprepared questions. Favorite HVAC upgrade?
Um, hmm. I I think for the public, the favorite upgrade is the Wi-Fi thermostat.
Yeah. Okay.
I If I'm cold at night and I'm in my bed, I pick up my phone and I turn it up. I don't even have to get up and go downstairs to the thermostat.
Right.
I have other controls in my house, and I can say, use this sensor to decide the temperature of the house today because
Gotcha.
of solar gain, because my
Right.
fireplace is on in the living room,
Right.
those types of
So
things.
different sense. Yeah, that's a really good one. Uh,
But on another side of it, if we're talking about the best upgrade that we need, a humidifier. I
yes.
think that in Manitoba, especially in the winter, oh, your homes get dry and you
Yes.
need a humidifier, and a whole home humidifier. People think it's a big expense, and it's not. It's still under $1,000 to have it installed in your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest necessity. It should be more of a necessity, and
Yeah.
it's not.
It's a lot cheaper than buying oranges for potpourri every grocery shopping trip and boiling it on your stovetop.
It's like you've been in my house.
What temperature do you keep your house at?
Oh, I'm one of those little old ladies. I like it warm.
Okay.
So I keep my house at 23.
Oh, that is warm. Yeah.
Mhm.
At night too?
No, I drop it down to 21 at night.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, the cooler sleeping temperature.
Yeah.
Favorite part of Winnipeg winters?
Sports.
Yeah.
I curl. I love hockey. I love to skate. We love to ski.
Yeah.
We used to have skidoos.
Yeah.
You got to stay busy. If you don't stay busy,
Yes.
this winter will suck you up whole,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
you become miserable.
Yes. And it's
So
not even that bad. Like the
once you,
minus 40 days,
yeah,
we had our kids out at Roblin Park. They were sledding. They were begging to go outside.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
we went, and I'm all about traveling Manitoba. Honestly, if you're willing to go 2.5 hours, there is so much beauty in this
Mm.
province. This winter over Christmas, we went skiing in Mississippi.
Oh, cool.
Minus 32. We spent 12 hours on the hill that day.
Oh,
You
cool.
just go inside and warm up.
Yeah. And there's no bad weather. It's just bad clothing choices.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, just dress more.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Coffee order on a minus 30 morning. What are you ordering when you pull up to not Tim's or Tom Bargain coffee?
I'm one of those, the longer you order, the more pretentious. I'm not as pretentious as my order.
Okay.
So let's say a Starbucks order is a venti vanilla latte with an extra shot of vanilla and almond milk.
Oh, that one does sound good.
Yeah.
The extra vanilla gets me.
Yeah, I like the sweetness.
If you could ban one HVAC myth forever, one myth, which one is gone?
One method. Bigger is better.
Ah,
Air conditioning,
that's what I
bigger
was
is
thinking.
better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not.
Well, and that's common. That things just get oversized out of laziness. Like,
Yeah. But when you oversize an air conditioner, you think, well, it's just going to push more cold air. And yes, it's going to push more into your house, which will satisfy the thermostat really quickly. But if you get the air conditioned too quickly, what does it not do? It doesn't remove the humidity. So you're not comfortable. There is
oh,
nothing worse than cold, wet air.
damp air.
Damp, cold air is not cool. It just feels gross.
I,
So the air conditioner, if it's smaller and it has to run longer, it's going to remove more humidity.
got
Which
rather
is
have a small one run all day.
correct.
Okay, and feels more comfortable.
Correct.
Okay, we asked coffee tea already. What's the most surprising thing a homeowner has ever asked you?
Hmm. Jeez, what's the most surprising thing a homeowner's ever asked me? Um, that's a tough one. I've had some crazy things over the years. I can't even think of one right now. Most recent one was at the last renovation show we are at where a homeowner did ask me if they could just, yeah, they wanted to remove their furnace and put in a heat pump, and that was going to run their whole house. And it's really not, it's crazy to me, but it's not crazy to them because they were told it would heat it.
Right.
So,
Right.
I think the
Right.
craziest situation I was ever in was when someone wanted me to replace their furnace in their house, and it was in their crawl space. And they said, "You want to come down and look at it?" And they opened the trap door in the middle of their kitchen floor and said, "After you." And I was like,
Oh
I made sure I
yeah.
had my phone in my pocket. I felt like I was never coming out of that basement.
Right,
That
but
was the
it puts
craziest
the
situation.
lotion on
Yeah,
its skin. Yeah,
right? Yeah, a
yeah.
little bit.
Oh,
We didn't sell them a furnace either. It was, it didn't work
the
out.
price was a bit high.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Who's the funniest trade on the job site, plumbers or HVAC?
Plumbers aren't funny.
Yes, I love it. What's more okay? What's more chaotic, a busy service day or coaching hockey?
Oh, a busy service day. Yeah, I can control kids.
Yeah, that's right.
You can satisfy, you can get them corralled. I have no problem corralling that. But a bunch of adults that are panicking about no heats is or you think that would be the worst, but they're actually worse when they're not cool.
Really?
People get nervous and worried when they don't have heat, so they're willing to work with you though. They just get
Okay.
angry and agitated when they're hot and they can't get cool.
And it's not quite, maybe it takes a little longer to get to them because it's not quite as
Well, air conditioning are usually longer repairs,
right.
right?
Right.
It's not as obvious what the breakdown is like a furnace.
Right.
So it usually takes longer to repair. And then recovery time is usually longer too
Yes.
for an air
Yes.
conditioner to actually get your house cool again because, of course, we're moving the humidity again.
Yes. Right.
So,
Yeah, and everything in your house has now become a certain temperature. Like it's
mhm,
not just the air.
mhm.
All right. If you could install a furnace for any fictional character,
Fictional,
who would you install it for and why?
fictional character.
Any kind of Superman or Clark Kent or oh, that's the same person.
That is. And see, do you see automatically you go to Superman where I would go to Wonder Woman?
Yes. And I was trying, what's Superman's girlfriend's name? Lois?
Lois Lane.
Lois Lane.
Yes,
There we
Lois
go.
Lane.
Yes, I was blanking
Lois
on that
Lane.
one.
Um, if I was gonna pick a new superhero woman, it would have to be Black Widow.
Ooh, that's a nice one. That's so why? That's a deep cut. I like it.
Why? Because I feel like she was kind of misunderstood, and people always assume, I think more with women, that if to be a superhero you have to be always good, and she wasn't always good. She came
Oh,
from a bad background, and I think that's okay.
I like that. That's a good cut. I like that one. Okay, you got as many minutes as you need here, but give listeners a bit of a chance to know where to find you. Where should they get in touch with you, or are you active on social media or
Yeah.
website?
So we have a website you can go to, www.mrfurnaceheating.ca. We have a Facebook page. Of course, you can call us 204-832-6243. And we're also in the yellow pages if you need to find us in good old-fashioned ways.
Nice.
So you can reach us out to us any one of those ways, and we'd be happy to respond. You can go on our website and just fill out a form, call us, message us, and we'll come out and take care of your needs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you both for being on the podcast, and thank you for all you've done for the industry, for Manitoba. Very much appreciated.
Well, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Good. We'll do it again.
You bet.
Thank you.